go wow wow. No, wait, don't leave. Sorry, it was just a silly intro to this video. I'm not being inappropriate, I promise. Hi, hello, and welcome to Big Friendly Grub. I hope you are well. And if you remember a couple of weeks ago, was it a couple of weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I don't know, however long ago since I made this video, that the other video was, I said that I was going to be going on a bit of a Japanese theme with some of these videos. Technically, that's not really true. What I should have said is I'm going a bit more on a East Asian influence with these videos because this recipe actually originates more from China, and I'm going to be showing you how to make bao buns today. Although we say bao buns, I don't think technically that's right because I think the word bao means bun. So we're actually calling these bun buns, which sounds kind of cute, but it's not technically right. But I think sometimes they get called gua bao or hirata buns or something like that. But we're all familiar with the term bao buns, so I'm going to call them bao buns. And plus, I can make more bao jokes. I'm really sorry. So sorry. But I am going to show you how to make them today. And I love bao buns, but they're not usually something I think to make at home too often. But you should, because they're absolutely amazing. If you've not had bao buns before, they are little, soft, fluffy buns that you can pretty much fill with anything. Quite common is pork belly, but we did pork belly like last week, week before, depending on when you watch this video. Or you could do, as I am doing today, I'm going to show you how to make pulled pork bao buns, and they are going to be incredible. Now, they seem like a lot of work because you've got to make the dough and then steam them and things like that. But they're really not that complex. It just takes a little bit of time, as you would with any kind of bread-based recipe. It just needs a bit of proving time and things like that. But they are really, really worth the effort. And with the pulled pork in, whew, they're going to be amazing. You are going to love it. So I'm going to stop wasting time. I'm going to stop talking at you because you hate that. I am just going to get started. So let's get going with our pulled pork bao, hirata, guao, whatever you want to call them, buns. Right, to make our bao buns first, we're going to need our bao bun dough. That's kind of fun to say, bao bun dough. What about those bao buns dough? Sorry, told you there'd be bao buns jokes. Anyway, to get started with these, we're going to need to make our dough. If you've made bread before, then this is going to look familiar, but it's going to have a few differences to it as well. So we're going to start off with 500 grams of flour, but we're not using bread flour, we are using plain flour because we want these to be nice, light, soft and fluffy. And that will be given to us by our plain flour, not bread flour. Then we're going to add in 7 grams of yeast, but also 7 grams of baking powder, because this will give it a double rise and also give it kind of like a cakey texture almost. Then we're also going to add in 75 grams of caster sugar, because these are slightly sweet. Quick pinch of salt on the other side of the bowl away from the yeast. Then we're adding in a tablespoon of rice vinegar and a tablespoon's worth of sesame oil, not sesame as some people tend to say. Then this is kind of like an enriched dough. We've already got the sugar in it, so I'm going to now add in 50 milliliters of coconut cream. You could use normal cream, double cream, but I'm using coconut cream just to give it that extra hit of, well, coconut and kind of that East Asian flavour to it. Then I'm bringing my stand mixer over here. I'm getting this onto the mixer. This dough needs quite a bit of kneading because we are using the plain flour. So I'm going to use the stand mixer because it will make life easier. Go get this down and get this going, and then as this is mixing, I'm going to be adding in my milk. I've got 100 mils here, but I'm going to do it by eye because it wants to be a nice smooth dough. It doesn't want to be too wet and it doesn't want to be too dry. So I'm going to get it going now and add this in a bit at a time. I've got it on a medium-low speed just to bring it all together quite gently. It may turn out that I need more milk than this, but I'm starting off with 100 mils and we'll take it from there. So I've added the 100 mils and it seems like I'm going to need way more than that, so I'm just going to keep adding milk until this looks like it's the right consistency. I'm reckoning probably about 250 mils of milk will do. So I've added in 250 mils of milk now, with the 50 mils of cream as well. That's about 300 mils of our dairy. It's going to be a really nice enriched dough. Now I can get this going to get really mixed together and kneaded together well into a nice smooth dough. You may always find with bread stuff that the amount of liquid you need to add varies entirely. It depends on the flour, it depends on like the weather, all sorts of things. But 250 mils of milk and 50 mils of cream seems to have done the right amount. I'm going to now get this mixed into a really nice smooth dough. Right, our bao dough has had a good 10 minutes of being mixed and kneaded in the stand mixer, and this has now become a really nice smooth dough. If I can get it off the blooming thing, here we go. You can see what a lovely, smooth, glossy dough that has become. And now, like all bread doughs, this needs about an hour to go back into the bowl, and I'm going to cover it with cling film, and it's going to have about an hour or so to hopefully double in size. Might need longer because it's not particularly warm today. So I'm going to chuck the heating on, hopefully that will help it prove and double in size. Right, while our bao dough has its first proof, I'm going to be getting on with the actual pulled pork of our pulled pork bao buns, and that's still quite hard to say. So I'm going to be using my pressure cooker again because I bought it and I might as well get the mileage out of it. But you could do this in a slow cooker as well, probably take 3 to 4 hours. I'm not sure how long this is going to take me. I'm going to roughly guess at about 45 minutes to an hour because I've got a small piece of pork shoulder here. As you can see, it's not a very big bit, but it's just me here, so I don't need a huge bit. This is about 450 grams. You probably want more, closer to a kilo if you're doing a good few people. But I'm going to pop this into my pressure cooker here. You can hear a bit of a sizzle because I've been letting it heat up. And then for our liquid, I'm going to be adding in 500 mils. Woo! We'll be adding in 500 mils of ginger beer. That'll give it a really lovely flavour, and that ginger will just add to the Asian flavours that we're adding into this. As well as that, I'm going to add in a whole chopped red chilli, 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, well in my case 3 cloves of garlic, but you can add 2 to 3, and then a good wedge of chopped ginger as well. Then also adding in a tablespoon of mirin, which is rice wine. I used this on our pork belly recipe a couple of weeks ago. So a tablespoon of that in, tablespoon's worth of soy sauce. Then I'm adding in 2 tablespoons worth of Hoisin sauce, however you want to say it. So that'll give a lovely sweetness and also a kind of a barbecue flavour. Oh, that's a bit more than a tablespoon, but that doesn't matter. I'll get that in there as well. I'll quickly let this come up to a simmer, then I'm going to get the lid on and let this cook for about 45 minutes and I'll see where it is. Right, that's come up to a simmer, so I'm going to get the lid on. And then I'm going to let that have about 45 minutes and I'm going to see where it's at. Like I say, I've not done this in a pressure cooker before, so I am winging it. Well, I'm actually shouldering it, but I'm winging it here. So I'm going to see how this goes after about 45 minutes, but I think that should be enough with the size of pork shoulder that I've got. Right, this has had 45 minutes in the pressure cooker now, so I'm going to let off the steam and see how this is doing. This part's absolutely terrifying. That is cool, but also terrifying. Right, I think this is now safe to come off. You can see our liquid has bubbled down quite a lot, which is good because this is now almost like a sauce. And you can see that this pork seems very tender. Yeah, it's actually falling apart. I think with a bit of encouragement, that will pull nicely. Here's my pork, and I'm just going to use my knife and pull this apart, but it doesn't really need much encouragement at all. And I'll get my shredded and chopped pork back into remainder of that sauce that it's turned into, because it's reduced down so much it has turned into a sauce, which is exactly what we wanted. I'm just going to mix that into the sauce, which looks absolutely lovely and it smells beautiful. And I'm just going to pop the lid back on that just to keep it warm while we sort out our bao bun dough. Right, our bao bun dough has had just over an hour to prove, probably more like an hour and a quarter I think, and that's looking pretty good. So I'm going to get this out of here. I use my piece of plastic, I can't remember what it's called, dough scraper, that's it. I'm going to get this out of here. I'm going to throw down some flour to prevent stickage and knock out the air out of it like you would any other dough. Right, we're going to need to get these shaped into our bao buns now, so I'm going to break off about 75 gram pieces. So about that size we're looking at, probably about a golf ball size, maybe slightly bigger. And the best thing to do is cup it under your hand and roll it around. And that'll give you a nice ball shape. So do that for each and every single one. And what you should end up with is 12 roughly even sized balls of bao dough. Now this might be too many for the amount of pork that I've got, but again, it's just me. So I'll probably put this dough to one side. I think it can be frozen, but don't quote me on it. So now we're going to need to roll these out and get them into the bao shape. So throw down a bit more flour, go pat this out and just flatten this down a bit with my hand. Roll it out. You don't want it too thin, nor do you want it too thick. I'd say that's roughly about right. That's probably about, I don't know, a centimetre thick. Then what you need to do is you just need to pop on a little bit of sesame oil, rub that over the top and fold it over to stop it from sticking. Then move that to one side and repeat. So I've shaped out 8 of these because I don't think I need any more. Probably 8 is going to be more than enough for me. So these need now 20 minutes to prove. So I'm going to do that in our bamboo steamer that I've got here. This is what we're going to use to cook our bao buns in, or steam our bao buns. So this also makes a nice handy thing for proving your bao buns on their second proof. So I've got these lined with some greaseproof paper, so I'm just going to pop in probably about 4 here because they will puff up. Then 4 on the next level as well, because these are 2-tiered. Hopefully this won't end in tiers. Pop those on and give these 20 minutes to prove. Right, to go with our soft and fluffy bao buns and our sticky sweet pork, we're going to need something with a bit of crunch and a bit of tang. So I'm going to slice up some spring onions into strips, very carefully. This is a sharp knife. Right, so we've got a nice pile of spring onion there. Do this very carefully because cutting these things lengthways is quite precarious. And we're also going to make some pickled cucumber. So I'm going to halve a piece of cucumber, scoop out the seeds because we don't want those. And then we're also going to chop this lengthways, again, very carefully. Then to pickle this, all we're going to need to do is just to pop this into a bowl and cover it in salt and leave it for about 30 minutes. Right, our bao buns have had 20 minutes to prove once more. They've puffed up a little bit, not too much because they'll puff up again as we steam them. So on with this lid and over to here. Brilliant camera work. I've got a pan of simmering water here, and I'm going to pop these on top of the water and let those steam for a good 20 minutes. While our bao is steaming, our cucumber has had its time to pickle. So you can see all that liquid that's come off of it where we put the salt over it. So all we need to do is drain that off, but we're also going to just rinse off any excess salt as well. Rinse that all off, otherwise it will be a whole mess of salt. And I'm just going to pop that onto some paper towel just to dry off for a bit. And that can be served with our bao buns. Our bao have been steaming away for 20 minutes, so let's reveal them. Whew, look how big and fluffy and puffy they've become. They are enormous. Whoa. So those look great. So I'm going to get these off the steam, and these can have probably a good 5 minutes to cool down so I can handle them, and then we can get them filled. Oh, so puffy. I hope you are not stuck together. Right, our bao have had about 5 minutes to cool, so I can actually handle them. They did stick together ever so slightly, but nothing to cause me too many issues. But they look great, and I'm just going to not talk. I'm just going to get these filled because I just can't wait to try these. I'm going to take one of these. I lied about not talking, sorry. I'm going to take one of these, get some of that lovely sticky pork in there. Get a bit of your spring onion, and a few pieces of your pickled cucumber, and there's one done. Let's do the rest. There we go, we've got 4 wonderful looking bao buns there. I won't do any more because quite frankly that's going to be a load just for me anyway. But oh, they look so good. So I'm going to quickly take some photos of these and then we will give them a try, or I'll give them a try. Bow to me! Sorry, that should have been bow to me. Look at those, don't they look lovely? They are so beautiful and fluffy and stuffed full of beautiful, sweet, spicy pulled pork. I am standing too close to the camera, let me move away. Oh, you don't want to look at me, you want to look at these things. Look at those, they came out fantastically. They are huge and they look so good. I just can't wait to tuck into one of these. So I won't need to tell you any more about these until I try one. Oh, let's take this one. Oh, can't wait. How do I tackle this? Oh, that's so good. Oh, I think I've got sauce in my beard. Don't worry, you get used to it if you haven't seen these videos before. So good. You've got that beautiful, sweet, sticky, spicy pork in there. Then you've got like the crunch of the spring onion, and then you've got the salty tang of that pickled cucumber. And then you just wrap it in that beautiful, soft, fluffy bao. It is so good. Well, they take a while, they do, but they're so worth it. And if you've got friends around and you make these, they will be so impressed. They're just really so good. I mean, I love bao buns. To be honest, I just love the bun by itself. It's so soft and fluffy and beautiful. And then when you just chuck in the pulled pork and the pickled cucumber and the spring onion, it's just a fantastic combination. But don't limit yourself to what I've done here. You could do pork belly, you could do tuna, you could do fried chicken, you could do anything they, your little heart desires. You could go sweet if you wanted to. I don't know how traditional that is. They are so, so good, and I do implore you to just give them a go. They may look a bit intimidating, but they are really, really worth it. They really are. And I am going to stand around here no longer because I've got these waiting for me, and you don't want to listen to me talk or see me eat anymore. So I'm going to go off and try and finish as many of these as I can possibly fit in my face. And that is it for another Big Friendly Grub. We've gone another slightly East Asian tilt on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Probably won't be the last one either. I've got another video planned, so hopefully that will go well. If it doesn't appear, then that means it went horribly, horribly wrong. Hopefully you enjoyed this. All the usual stuff. If you like the video, like it. If you enjoy what I'm doing, subscribe to the channel, please. It helps me out, not money-wise, but just makes me happy. It makes me happy. Like these make me happy. And so I'm going to go be happy by putting these in my face. So I'll see you on the very next Big Friendly Grub. Bye. Or should I say, bow.